Hi everyone! In this episode of TV Shows You Must Watch, I want to talk about a show that is both weird and fascinating. The Adventures of Pete and Pete. It's a kid's show from the 90s, but despite all that, it's really entertaining for adults. I don't know why, but it feels like there were a lot of weird kids shows in the 90s. I mean, we had Eerie Indiana, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Ren and Stimpy. Well, The Adventures of Pete and Pete are probably on the less weird side of the spectrum, but it's still pretty weird. The two main characters are Big Pete and Little Pete. They're brothers and also best friends. Their mom has a metal plate in her head and she can pick up radio stations with it.
The local radio station begins to fade. Our mom, who picks up the radio signals from the metal plate in her head, tries her best to keep the station, but pretty soon, it's just gone.
And their dad has a driving range, or at least based on one episode, because we don't really know after that.
The guy who runs the place, my dad, wouldn't take no for an answer. That year alone, he had lost 10 range boys. Some had quit, some had been injured, and some had just lost their mind.
We also get characters like Endless Mike.
If you deserve to know, you'll know.
And Artie!
The strongest man in the world!
Each episode takes a seemingly normal situation and cranks it up 50 notches. It gets to the point where it's nearly absurd. For example, in one episode, Little Pete hears this garage band practicing, and he really falls in love with the song. He tries to track down the band, but when he fails, he decides to learn the guitar and form a band so he can recreate the song. So far it's not that bad, but just wait! It's not done yet. One of the neighbors complain about the noise, so Pete's dad tells him that unless he can pay the $700 electricity bill, he won't be allowed to practice in the garage anymore. So, what does he do? He does a radiothon and raises money by playing songs that people request.
Marmalade cream, so sweet in between.
A marmalade cream, it's a tangerine dream.
In another episode, he decides to stay awake for 11 days, just so he can get to bed a bit later at night. The show does a great job at making you care for the characters. And it's also a great watch because you never know just how absurd things are gonna get. And despite all that, the situations are still relatable. 2 of the 3 seasons were released on DVD, and I'm still crossing my fingers that they will release a 3rd one. You know what? If you enjoyed this show, write to Paramount to request the 3rd season. # Pete and Pete. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and click the like button. I wish you all a great week. See you next time.